live. Oh yes, we're going live. We're going live. Oh yes, we're going live. We're going live. Woohoo! We have an excellent connection. We are live. Welcome to the Liz and Skatz channel. Slightly previous there. Here we go. Oh, it just shows you what this one's going to go like, doesn't it? Here we go.
Yeah.
Welcome to number 13. Lucky for some. Da 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 da. Yippee! Yes, welcome.
Slowly mastering the bells.
Sorry about the cough. We're both suffering a bit at the moment, and Liz is wrapped up. She's been wrapped up for the last few days. We're slightly worried that we may have COVID, especially Liz. It's been feeling really under the weather, and there's a cough, and you still have your sense of smell and taste, don't you?
I do, but I've been told that not everybody has that, all the symptoms, so I've got to contact my GP. And
yes, we tried today, and then we're waiting for a phone back.
He was supposed to ring me back, and then they shut at 1, so I was waiting for the call, but it didn't happen, and then I've got to, hopefully tomorrow he'll call me. Anyway,
so you've got a very quiet voice. I'll do it, and she's got a sore throat, so I'm going to do a lot of the talking today. So yes, welcome once again. Today's live stream is it's a bit of an update really on Saturday's big reveal special announcement that we did. After all that excitement on Saturday, we hit a huge brick wall in our plans to move to Spain, and we're now seriously wondering whether we're going to be able to make it at all. It was a disaster. So find out what all the fuss is about in a few minutes, and before that we'll be updating you on our other news, our New Year weight loss and what we're doing and what you can do to kickstart the process and get back into keto or fasting or whatever weight loss rhythm that you're into.
Both.
Or program, or both, yes, or a selection of every single weight loss program in the world. Speaking of which, if you like rhythm, then hit that funky like button, man, and subscribe and click on the bell. Tingly, tingly, ting.
Lots of times.
Yes, lots of times.
Make sure it's an odd number, then you'll definitely have liked us.
Yes.
When the like button turns blue, then you've liked us.
Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Or it fills in.
Yeah.
It's filled in there.
Oh, yes, lovely. The first news, anyway, is that we've got ourselves a green screen. I don't know if you know what a green screen is. It's what they use for special effects on, and so we've got lots of different photos set up on. So I've been mucking about with this.
They used to do the weather and things.
Let's
like
just
that,
move that out of the way. Yeah. So look at this one. We've got that photo, which you can't see because if I move into the middle.
That's me.
Yes.
And that's Skatz.
And me.
That's a big blue sky.
Yeah.
This was actually taken on a beach in Malaga.
Yeah. So it's highly
3
appropriate.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah. When we went, is this in November? We went.
November, because it was just near my birthday, and we were on the beach with shorts on in November in Malaga. It was amazing.
Yeah. So that's why we want to go there.
Yeah.
And
because I'll be able to have my birthday outside.
Yes, that'll be brilliant. It's been a bit weird in Ireland because all of the restaurants close down in October,
you don't
get
they? Any, no,
because it's a tourist
there's
region.
like 2 restaurants open, maybe 3. So the choices are really limited, aren't they, for our birthdays, November, December. And I'm assuming it's going to be similar in Spain.
But no, I think the season's a lot longer.
But I think that we will be able to at least, travel a little way and find somebody open.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we're planning on finding somewhere that is going to be mostly open.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've got a cafe open and a shop open all year round, so that's the purpose.
It's a nice cute one, isn't it? If we can get there, yes, that's all. That was a nice little cute photo. This is my favourite. We're in space. And I've got a blue dot on my head.
Yeah.
It just keeps coming up. We've got problems with the lighting. We're just using light bulbs from various different lamps at the moment. We're supposed to be lit really well by proper lighting.
I've got a bit of a Jedi Knight
thing
got
some
going.
haze going on there, haven't you? Isn't that mad?
Use the Force.
Oh, look. Oh, there's Aggie. Oh, That's our black and white dog in black and white.
Yeah.
And
she's still got that eye.
She has, yes.
Hasn't
It's
got
the
the
other
other
one that's
eye, though.
missing now. And there's Pip, a discarded dog.
Pip.
Yeah, she's facing you. There we go.
She's so pretty.
And finally, there's this person here. Don't know where he came from, but he definitely wasn't in Washington
Disgraceful.
earlier on this week. So
It's Jamiroquai, isn't it?
it is, yeah, must be.
JK.
There we go. So back to normal. Whoops! Oh, everything's moved off the screen. There we go. Yes, back to normal. So no, that's the wrong one. I'm flipping things around the screen now. You can't see any of this. There we go. Move that to there and move that to there, and it's disappeared over there. I'll get that later. Good. Now, so let's see. Quick update then of all of the health. I can't even speak today. You see what it's doing to my head. The health and the weight loss and the well-being. So especially for all of those of you who, like us, are trying to motivate yourselves in this really difficult time of the year, because, well, stick around for the good advice and fun, and then we'll get to the big Spanish visa catastrophe in a very short while. Statistically, this is the most tricky week of the year for mental health and for health in general.
I can see that right now.
It was on QI, that British TV programme, that the third Monday in January, that's Monday the 18th, next Monday coming up, is supposed to be the saddest day. And so we're going to try and make it all happy for you. This is the time of year that people's New Year's resolutions get thrown out, and the weather gets miserable, and the sunshine seems such a long way off. And of course, this year, to top it all, we're in severe lockdown mode, and the level of fear seems to be rising rapidly.
Yeah, not just here either. I mean, Ireland have just announced this week that it's the worst COVID
figures
in the whole world right now.
Yeah, in terms of percentage of population.
Really like to just say, if anybody has had anybody who's died from COVID or is really sick with COVID, that, you know, our hearts go out to you right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are very, very sick with this horrible illness, and if this is what it is, I don't envy anybody.
No, this is just mild compared to
this is nothing.
How people are suffering anyway.
Nothing.
So, and of course there's the violence in America, which is more than a little bit worrying. We're not going to talk about that.
No.
And we're going to try and stay off the bleak subject, I think.
It's just that people are concerned, and that's what we wanted to highlight. You know, those of us who feel things strongly, when we watch the news or see other people talking about it, I understand completely. I'm completely riveted by it all at the moment, but I'm finding it fascinating. But at the same time, I'm very aware of my mental health, and I'm also doing things to combat that by watching things in between or doing something in between that kind of distracts me from that. So
that's it. So what can we do about it?
Yeah.
Well, we can't do anything about what's happening in America, but we do have some experience of depression, because, as Liz says, we've been feeling that way too, and we do have some solutions. And we've covered this on a few of our videos, so if you need more information, ask us, and we'll point you to the various different videos that we've done. And we might put one up in a little box to click on at the end of this video. And but it's, of course, it's important that we keep driving home these solutions to keep you all motivated. You know what it's like. You wake up the next day and you feel down again, so you need something to keep you going. And it's so easy to forget what you can do. And we think that the best way to do it is the holistic approach, because there's no one solution on its own. A holistic approach means you look at not just your medical health, but your mental health,
mind, body, spirit, isn't it? It's everything. And from previous experience of depressive episodes and things like that, it's not just one thing that works. Sometimes you need medication, but sometimes you actually need somebody to talk to, and sometimes you need to do something, and sometimes you just need to lie down and rest, and sometimes you need to go out for a walk, and sometimes you need to do yoga and meditation. And it's all about, from the food that you eat to your spiritual side, if you have that sort of leaning, really.
So here are the quick 6 solutions that you can write down, and Liz has mentioned some of them very quickly there on the run through. So what we're going to do is keep this really brief, because I know you're longing to get to the main news. Although some of you might be here for the just specifically for the health, but I'm sure that most of you are here because of the headline that we've put on the title of the live stream. So number 1, exercise. That's one of the most important ones because it has such a roll-on, a beneficial effect on metabolism. Do it because it's there. Metabolism, digestion, energy, fighting your aches and pains, your mood, your hormones, and on top of that, you're burning fat. So if you need to get rid of those excess pounds that you may have put on over Christmas with all those chocolates, and
all your
then that's
rumbles.
good. It was all of my rumbles, yes. So don't give up on that exercise. Keep up the momentum. If you haven't started yet, then start now. If you've stopped, start again. There's lots of kinds of exercise, and they don't have to be mad and manic. And
You can just walk for half an hour a day.
yeah, set
That's
yourself
gonna do it.
realistic targets as well.
And we're here to support you. If you need any help or anything, just ask us in the comments below, or ask us in the live stream chat now. Live chat's actually down below or to the side, depending on which device you're watching us on.
That's it. So yes, and don't set the bar too high for exercise. That's quite a pun, an appropriate pun.
And also
Set the bar down here, and then you can lift like that.
Yeah, and also the thing is that what you have to remember is that our bodies do actually go with the seasons, and we're still in mid-winter here. It's still deep and wintry and dark, and our primal brain is going, we need to be resting and recuperating and or preparing for the spring. And that means resting and recuperating. So this is why the new year doesn't really come at a very good time. It's better to start your targets really around about the equinox time, which is about mid-March. But as we are here and we do tend to set ourselves tasks, let's try and do it, and let's try and do it together. Quietly and carefully, and just slowly. Slow and steady wins the race. We don't have to be charging about.
Imagine you're a bear, you're hibernating right now. But you have to still keep a little bit of momentum going. And that's all you need, a little bit.
Tiny bit.
Yeah. So, number 2, avoid sugars and starchy foods. There's so many reasons why, and we're not going to go through them here all again. We do have a video called What's Wrong with Sugar? Why is sugar so bad for you?
It's very tempting to actually reach for the sugar this time of year, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it makes you feel better. Well, supposedly it makes you feel better,
make
but
you feel better.
doesn't really.
There is an actual brain response when you eat sugar that produces dopamine and serotonin. So it does actually make you feel good, but then of course you feel really naff about 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
And obviously, if you've been to this channel before, we talk about keto and intermittent fasting, which is brilliant for an awful lot of people.
Fasting
and it makes the most sense right now. And fasting is the next number, and fasting is number 3 in this list, because it's an amazing kickstarter for weight loss and also for feeling good as well. It's got so many health benefits that we've talked about. Again, we've got loads of videos on this.
Hundreds of videos on fasting.
Especially the top 5 tips for fasting and the top 5 tips for autophagy.
And keto as well.
And keto.
But we started off by thinking that keto was king, didn't we really? And it's important. But I think now fasting has become more important to us, really, hasn't it? I think it's kind of taken over as the one that's got the most mental and physical health benefits. It's quite extraordinary.
Yeah, and this is a regular thing that we do. It's intermittent fasting, which we won't go into the details. But and I did a 3-day fast recently, which lost me about altogether 3 pounds. I went down about 5 pounds and bounced back up to 3 pounds, and now I'm only about 5 pounds from my target weight again. And as you know, we've lost 110 pounds between us over the last year while we've been in lockdown.
I'm still not at my target weight, but I'm quite happy where I am right now. I would like to get down to the target, or maybe below £150. That would be good.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Maybe we'll see.
And it feels like we can do it nice and gently at the moment.
Yeah, I don't want to be rushing into anything right now. I don't want to be losing a waterfall of weight right now.
No,
I don't think it would be healthy for me, especially the way I'm feeling today.
Yeah. So swiftly we move to number 4. Connect with people. It's even more important now. The loneliness can drag you down, and if you're in the same house with the same people all day long that you're not used to being in the same house with for such a long period of time, you can start to get a bit with each other. And sometimes you need to connect with your friends, with other people that you would connect with normally. So get on Zoom and get on the any way that you can. And if you have a bubble, then use those bubbles to connect with those people. And hopefully
not even allowed to bubble at the
You're not even allowed to bubble in Ireland at the moment now. So as soon as you can get into that bubble again, that will be lovely for you. In the meantime, do things like number 5, which is find a hobby, something to get excited about and to share with others. Now you can share these things online, and a creative hobby can take your thoughts away from the news and the weather and the worries and the social media, and it can carry you off to a different world, just like reading a really good book. Find a really good book, because putting yourself in a bit of a fantasy world for this time, and finding the happiness in things and finding the amazing fulfillment of words. I love it.
Can I just take a moment to plug our fabulous friend Rachel Ray, who has a channel of her own. Rachel Ray, spelt R-A-E, Ray spelt R-A-E. She's actually from where we are here, but she's actually spending time in America at the moment, visiting family. So she is still doing her videos, and she does lots and lots of different crafting. She does everything from crocheting to diamond, diamond.
What's it called? The tiny little diamonds which make a picture.
Sorry, Rachel, I've completely forgotten. But yeah, so she does all of these amazing things. So check out Rachel's channel as well and go over and subscribe. She is a delight to listen to. And she has a meditative, hypnotic voice.
Yes.
That is lovely to listen to.
Yes, indeed.
And she's fabulous. She's a lovely person too.
Lovely. Or you could write a song, you could write a poem, write a haiku. They don't have to be really long poems. Haiku's only got 3 lines to it, and they're fun little things. So yeah, number 6, finally, for this little list of things, meditation. Liz mentioned it earlier. You can do this online. Ask Liz. She's got videos free on this channel. And if you stick around to the end of this live stream, we will put up the meditations playlist for you to click on, or we'll put it in the comments somewhere anyway. It's easy to find anyway.
And actually, if you look in our playlists, it's in the self-care part of our playlists. So do have a look in there as well, because there are a few things in there that are very much associated with what we're trying to say today.
Wonderful. Okay, so here's the bit most of you have been waiting for, the update on Spain. And I just want to say to make sure that people know exactly what's going on. We said on Saturday, we're moving to Spain, and now some people think we're leaving straight away. And I met somebody out on a walk and had a really good chat with her, a good friend. And just as we were leaving, she said, this was socially distanced chat, by the way, on this walk, from completely opposite ends of the road. And she just waved goodbye and said, if I don't see you again, then have a lovely time. And I thought, we're not going until September at the very earliest. And based on what's been happening recently, we're not sure whether that's just, almost impossible. So this is what happened. After the excitement of the big reveal broadcast on Saturday, we just hit this brick wall and metaphorically collapsed into a big heap on the dark and dismal, dusty old carpet of depression. That's a lovely little bit of an alliteration, isn't it? I like that.
Poetry.
So what happened was, to start with, I looked at a load of British expat groups on Facebook to see if anyone had the answers to the big questions that we need answering before we can really start planning properly. And we told you about a load of issues that we're facing on Saturday. But the big ones are, where do we as UK citizens stand on getting a visa following Brexit? And how much money do we need in the bank to make it all happen? And does it help that we've lived in a different EU country for more than 5 years? Because we'd read a lot about that making it easier. Anyway, and after reading loads of opinions on these group chats and reading documents on the Spanish Embassy website, there was a lot about what UK citizens who already lived in Spain needed to do to be allowed to stay there under more or less the same rules as before. But there wasn't a lot to answer the questions that we had.
Now that there's all the new stuff happening, and the new rules and...
Yeah, and what was being mooted a lot on the Facebook groups was how incredibly difficult it would be to try and get a visa post-Brexit if you were self-employed, even if you did have huge amounts of cash in the bank that we haven't, and that they were suggesting that we'd need. And so as I looked deeper, it seemed like that nobody really had a complete answer. And what was very clear, that was most of the answers, like they said, they were the old ones from 2008 or something like that. All the rules were written then.
It turned out that the consulate articles were all written in 2013.
13, yeah.
So that's like 8 years ago. Some of them were written.
Yeah.
So
before Brexit
probably
was
didn't even apply last year, let alone this year. So and it's obviously before Brexit was even voted in. So it didn't mean anything. So we were like, oh, okay, so that's. We can't go with that then. So where do we look?
That's it. So we may be the very first people asking the question, what on earth do we have to do as self-employed UK citizens living in Ireland if we want to live and work in Spain? And have we chosen the worst possible time to make this decision? Well, yes, we have. Because the rules are all new. The consulate staff are all off sick. Spain's got it just as bad as everyone else, if not worse. Everybody's worried. And are we completely bonkers? Make your own minds up about that one. So things were looking really, really bleak, and there was a huge difference in our mood. And I looked at all those cardboard boxes we'd bought that I showed you on Saturday, and I thought, well, that was a really stupid idea, buying all of them this early. We packed up Liz has packed up all of the Christmas decorations now, and labelled all of the boxes as if the next time we're going to get them out is going to be after we've moved. Well, as it stands at the moment, who knows whether we're going to be here next Christmas or over there, So
it's going to be really hard. And also, it was difficult because it was like the Sunday morning. And
nobody's
I went
open.
in to see Skatz, and I went in on Sunday morning, and I said, and he was really down, and I was like, oh God. And we'd had all that lovely uplifting and all the lovely comments because we'd come out of the closet about Spain, and then suddenly we were thinking, oh God, we might not be able to go. And I was like hoping to do more Christmas decorations, and I was thinking, what is the point in packing them away? What's the point if we don't know if we're going to be here? So there's a bit of a downer.
Yeah. So let's talk about solutions. What are the possible solutions? We're always telling people that failure is just a stepping stone on the path to success. But is this just one stepping stone that's just sunk into the mud, and it's just too big a hurdle to overcome?
That's possible.
We investigated calling the Spanish embassy, but we couldn't even find the right number that anyone would answer.
The number that you ring just goes dead straight away, so I don't know what's going on there either. So, and
I heard today again on the expats sites that the consulates are all shut at the moment anyway, through illness and because
COVID. They're not classed as important enough to be open,
and also because of Brexit as well. They're still trying to handle all of the applications from people who lived in Spain before Brexit and during the transition period.
So if you can imagine, all the people in Ireland who have properties in Spain are all asking questions. The people who've emigrated to Spain who used to live in Ireland are all asking questions.
And the UK and Norway and Germany.
No, I mean for the consulate here.
Oh, for the consulate here, yes.
So it's like they're all like probably inundated with questions since January, and of course Spain is on holiday over Christmas until the 6th of January. Yeah. They don't go back or to school or to work or anything until after the 6th, because the 6th is the Three Kings Day, so they're open, they're shut for that, and the kids go back to school either the next day or sometimes even the day after that, and some people don't go back to work until after the weekend. So there's nobody there, and they're only just starting to open again now.
That's it.
And some establishments in Spain where we want to go, which we'd need to be in touch with, aren't open until next Monday.
That's the ones I mean. Those are the Spanish consulates. The consulates are in Spain. The embassies are the ones that are in other countries.
So the embassy here hasn't been open until this week. Yeah. Ones in Spain are
they're all closed till the end of January.
Oh,
that's what they meant on the expats websites. So
we're kind of
we've been digging around though, because there are some people who are working and who can advise us. we both did a bit of digging around, and we found two different immigration advisors in Spain. They're private individuals, and they have websites. And the one I found said that he basically only agrees to take on cases if he knows he can do it. So you do a chat with him first, and if he thinks that he can take it on, then he will do that. Now, we still haven't called him because, well, he would need the information that he needs to find for us. He can only get from the embassy or from the consulate, and they're not open at the moment. So we're going to have to throw a bit of money at this. That's the solution, in order to try and get the information. If we need to consult somebody, then you've got to pay them, really. But the question is, which advisor do we choose? How do we know we've got the right person? It's just the same of any kind of trade. If you're building a house, or having some renovations done, you don't know which builder to go for.
I think the scary thing about that is that this is really important documentation that's going to be able to enable us to live in Spain, and it's something we really want to do. And it's really scary right now that we need to pick the right person. And I think that's what's scaring me most of all. I don't know about you, but that's the thing that's on my mind right now, is if we pick a dud, or somebody who really doesn't know what they're talking about, we could lose a lot of money that we haven't got to spare, and we could also end up no closer to the paperwork that we need to be able to live there in the first place. So it's a very scary time right now. So we never thought it was going to be easy, did we? Please know,
not under any illusions.
We weren't under any illusions, but this seems to be slightly more convoluted and confusing, and nobody seems to know what they're doing right now, which is a bit scary. And the fact that it can take 3 months, 4 months to get a visa in normal circumstances is making us think, if we want to be out there by September, then we need to get our skates on now to be finding out what we need to be doing.
That's it. So just throwing this out there as an idea, if any of you have any contacts or advice, I mean, especially, I could be lovely if one of you was sitting there saying, "Oh, I know this little man who works at the embassy in Dublin," and wait on the chat. Somebody will go, "Yeah, I know somebody who specialises in self-employed UK citizens resident in Ireland." That would be amazing. He's sitting there in his office going, "Now I have the piece of paper." He's Italian, by the way. He says, "I have the right piece of paper for these people right now," and I don't know why he's an Italian working in Dublin for the Spanish, but. There we go. If so, cultural. Send us a message in the comments and introduce us to Luigi, or whatever his name is, and we'll continue checking out the professionals from our end in the meantime. We are going to be watching a webinar in 2 weeks, which we registered for, run by A Place in the Sun, which, for those of you who don't know, is a UK television programme where they help people find their dream property in places like Spain. Most of them are looking in Spain. Let's see, I've sent a couple of questions to the people who are going to be running the webinar, and one of the guests is from the Spanish consulate in the south of Spain somewhere, so she could be really helpful, and I'm hoping that she'll answer our specific question, although even if she answers it quite generally about self-employed people, maybe that will be... Well,
I mean, it would be helpful to know who we need to talk to, really, because we don't seem to have the knowledge. Nobody seems to know who we need to talk to, which is the scariest thing. Even people that I've spoken to who have some credentials don't seem to know whether or not we're going to be treated like EU citizens that have been living here for 7 years, or whether we're going to be treated like British citizens and just have to start from scratch because we can't get a residency here because there's a special connection between England and Great Britain and Ireland anyway, so that we don't need a residency permit to live here. But if we can prove that we've lived here for 7.5 years nearly, we might be able to slip in as EU or EU
or at least
residents.
Quasi-EU, maybe. There may be some extra rules.
Because, we have, officially, it's been the best part of a decade we've been here now. And sorry, I'm just getting uncomfortable.
Yeah, get yourself comfy. I mean, the worst thing again is the waiting.
Yeah.
I want to know the answers now. And Spanish bureaucracy is known for being the toughest challenge of all.
Irish bureaucracy.
But no, it's nothing compared to the
nothing,
Spanish.
but it's not.
They're
as
very
efficient
manana.
It's not as efficient as the British.
So patience will be stretched to the limit. Now, I'm usually good at waiting. I'm usually good at the long haul. But this is such a momentous thing that we're doing, and I'm actually allowing myself to be carried along emotionally more in this process because, well, it's going to make arriving there and succeeding even more joyful, and it's also good TV for you because you don't want to see us waiting patiently, do you? Because that's like watching paint dry. You want to see us pulling our hair out and stamping our feet and and I know I don't have any hair to pull out, so don't leave me alone.
Don't put any more of my hair out. I've already lost a load of my hair.
No, so so stick with us throughout this, and you'll see some wonderful joyfulness. And
we'll get
if
there.
you are actually looking to move to Spain yourself, then I hope that we come up with solutions which you can take on board as well.
Or at least if you want to buy a property in Spain and you're British, and we can find out things for you as well along the way, I suppose, and especially as we'll probably find out a bit more from the webinar and as we're going along. And
there was somebody on the webinar today who was asking, not the webinar, the Expat website that I was looking at, the Facebook page, and she was saying, look, my house is it's completed, the sale is going through, and it's going to complete at the end of January, and we've booked the removals, which are going to take our stuff and take it over to Spain. They've put their application in for a visa, and now everything's closed. So, and also she's just found out that somebody else pointed out to her that if you sell your property in this year and you go over to Spain to live there and to work, then you have to pay tax on what you sold your house for, or the profit that you made on the house. So she's looking at losing, tens of thousands on the money that she might have, or even more than that,
Yeah.
So she's devastated by, she's in an even worse position than we are. So my heart goes out to her. At least we're sort of standing back from it now and thinking, well, let's just get there when we can. We'd like to get there before the end of this year.
Sooner.
That would be wonderful. Sooner the better.
I need that sunshine, man.
Yeah, but if it has to be next year, because there's, we have. Anyway, there's lots of things in my head that I'm thinking through as we're speaking.
I'm still positive. I'm in a positive mood about it still, and I think after we have, now that we've had more of a chat about it between us, I think it's looking a little bit easier now. But earlier this week, we were literally thinking, "What have we done?" I think there's going to be more than one occasion where we're saying that same phrase, but hopefully it'll be more positive than not.
Yes. So there will be, as I say, there will be lots of joy. So keep on watching. And
let me just tell you that I'm hoping, as long as I'm not too sick over the next couple of days, to do another video. I'm sorry there's been no other videos other than the live streams coming out, but that's because unfortunately I've not been well enough to film any. I'm hoping.
So what's that one about?
I'm going to do a video about hair loss with weight loss and why that happens.
Yeah.
I have found out all sorts of fabulous scientific marvellousness about that. And it's absolutely fascinating, and I am very, very interested in it because I have actually lost quite a bit of hair. And I also want to do one on affirmations. So we'll be talking about. I can't talk when you're doing it. I can't talk when you're doing it. I lose track. What was I saying? Shit. Affirmations. So yeah, I'll be doing a video on affirmations and why they're important and how they can actually help you keep a good, positive mental attitude all the time. It's really, really amazing neuroscience.
Good. Well done for getting through that. It's
Yeah.
tough when your head's like that. Sorry, I interrupted you with the music.
I
You
can't-
were coping with it last
I
week. It
can't-
just
no, I
just
just
shows
can't
the
do it at
difference
the moment.
in how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to sing you out with a song. I was looking through actually because I've said in previous live streams we've been doing our own music because we can't do copyright music because at some point in the future we're going to be getting advertising revenue and this site will be monetized, this channel. And if that happens and we do somebody else's song, then the video will be taken down and we might even be cancelled. So that made me look today on a website that lists all of the songs that were published before 1925 or 1925 and before. So there are some songs that have just gone into the public domain, and I had a look through, and so we're going to do this one. There's some brilliant songs.
I'm not
we
doing
might.
anything.
Well, okay then. I will. It'll be just me singing this one. Then.
I should just lie back here and just relax.
But you've sung this one before, and it's
I know.
absolutely delightful song. 5'2", Eyes of Blue, coochie 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 coo. Oh, 5'2", eyes of blue, but oh, what these 5 feet could do. Has anybody seen my gal? Woohoo! Turned up nose and turned down hose. Flapper, yes sir, one of those. Has anybody seen my gal? Now if you run into 5'2", covered with fur, diamond rings and all those things, bet your life it isn't her. Could she love? Could she woo? Could she coo? Has anybody seen my gal? Woohoo! 5'2", eyes of blue. Come on, everybody. Oh, what these 5 feet could do. Has anybody seen my gal? Now, if you run into 5'2", but with fur, diamond rings and all those things,
Bet your life it isn't her.
could she love? Could she woo? Could she coo? Has anybody seen my gal? Has anybody seen my gal?
Hi, Audrey.
Hello, Audrey. Indeed. So, that's all for today. You've been lovely. Thank you for joining us on the chat. Some of you, a lot of you, I think, are going to be joining us afterwards. I know some people have said they can't watch it at the time, and we'll see you in the comments.
One of our American friends and subscribers can't watch until later because it's still quite early in the day over there.
Yes. So I hope you've enjoyed it today, and sorry for our slight kind of mood.
I apologise. I'll be letting you know if I need to go for the dreaded test and how I'm feeling. So I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, that'll be on Instagram probably, or on the Facebook site. So
right. Well, if
sign
I'm
up to those.
going if I'm going for a test, I should probably do a video. So we'll do a vlog of the video of the test. So
yeah, cool.
Lovely, just made it.
Yeah,
You have to go back to the beginning, Ord, my darling.
maybe you are at the beginning. I
Maybe
don't
she
know.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Good.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all for today. We'll say peace and love and really look after yourselves. This is a difficult time, and we wish you all the best. Get well soon
Be good
and
to
do
each
all of
other.
the things that we said earlier.
Yeah.
And if you need to speak to us, then just talk to us in the comments below and we will get the message and get straight back to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see you around. Bye for now.
Bye.